On this edition of Good Day DePaul, Jewish students at DePaul try to cope with the war between Israel and Hamas.
A group at DePaul is working for environmental sustainability.
And the DePaul women's basketball team opened its season. I'm Juliana Pelaez.
And I'm Max Raymond. And this is Good Day DePaul.
The war between Israel and Hamas. It's causing widespread death and destruction, and it's also impacting some students at DePaul. Good Day DePaul's Lena Gebhardt explains.
DePaul Student Center is home to the Jewish Life Space, one of the university's resources to support Jewish students. There are several Jewish organizations on campus, including the Chabad Student Club, DePaul Hillel, and Alpha Epsilon Pi. The co-presidents of Chabad at DePaul, Danny and Danny, stressed the importance of being connected in times of crisis.
Having support from other students, whether Jewish or not, and faculty is so valuable right now because we do feel a little bit lost in trying to navigate all of it. And it's super important to have networks, connections, people who can be there for you so it doesn't get too overwhelming.
Earlier, the university emailed a statement which acknowledged the need for more support at DePaul. Danny and Danny agreed.
I think being a Jewish leader, it's a little bit difficult because we are trying to communicate with administration how students are feeling, what's going on, but sometimes it feels like we're hitting a wall. They'll send very mundane emails that are we received this, here's a resource, and it's where was that call to action that we requested? There's none of it. So we're bending over backwards to try and get administration to just hear us and make us feel safe, and sometimes it feels like we're not being heard.
The co-presidents of Chabad shared other ways for students to get support.
Definitely the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and then also it's adl.org, I think so, yeah. And then also your local Jewish community. There is one in each neighborhood in Chicago, Lincoln Park, Lakeview, all of the ones near DePaul campuses have one.
Going forward, the students hope DePaul creates a system to better support its students and to report religious hate crimes.
Any kind of religious hate crime, there's no way to report it, which we've been trying for the past few years to get. We've been fighting for anti-Semitism, but not only that, Islamophobia as well. Why is there no way to report it when you go to report some kind of issue with the dean of students? It's just general student code of conduct, and that's pretty much it. There's 3 different options, but it's it isn't showing the support. And how hard can it really be to add another thing to a drop-down menu? Actually. We're just doing our best to exist as humans in the state that is the world right now.
Yeah, we're just doing our best, and we want the safety for everyone, not just our community, but other communities. We want everyone to be safe and okay.
Reporting from the Jewish Life Space, I'm Lena Gebhardt.
Meanwhile, the White House is expressing concern about what it calls an alarming rise in reported anti-Semitic incidents at schools and on college campuses. The administration says it's tracking threats closely and meeting with Jewish leaders and universities.
DePaul Public Safety says that the DePaul male student was the victim of a strong-armed robbery on the Loop campus. It happened on October 30th in front of 243 South Wabash. Public Safety says 2 men asked the student for donations to their musical group. They wanted it done via Zelle on the student's cell phone. They then reportedly grabbed the phone when the student took it out and completed the Zelle transaction for the $2,000. The 2 then fled south on Wabash. No other details are now available.
Environmental sustainability. It was the subject of a recent meeting at DePaul. Good Day DePaul's Samantha Davis was there.
Social and environmental justice group Just DePaul held a sustainability event on DePaul's Lincoln Park campus to promote environmental sustainability. There was a clothes swapping corner, crafts, and informational stations. Sophomore Evelyn Ashburner recently joined Just DePaul and explains the mission of the group.
what their idea was with this event was to kind of put sustainability back on the map and get it into the minds of students here at DePaul because, well, it's one of the pillars of our university's social justice, we have these pillars of social justice that DePaul cares about and that we want to put effort into as a university, as a name. Sustainability is a big one of those.
The event brought focus to several areas of sustainability, like reusing clothes, planting, and finding more organic materials. Ashburner helped with the seed paper station, an example of being more environmental friendly.
Sustainability, a lot of the times what we like to think about is alternative materials and how to kind of think outside the box with what materials we're using. And one of those materials that we found was seed paper. And it's basically just an organically made paper that has seeds woven into the material. So you can just rip it up into little squares, put it in some soil, and plant it.
Another focus at the event was transportation. The Chicago Transit has 145 stations with 8 rail lines, over 120 bus routes with over 1,800 buses, and has a combined, on average, 500,000 riderships every weekday.
We feel like there's been a lack of immediate action and with the student body and with faculty, and we really wanted to get students and faculty engaged again with sustainability. And so this is kind of a more fun, who are the sustainability-oriented organizations at the school, and this is something that DePaul cares about, so we want to show that.
Just DePaul also partners with local and global communities to grow the impact of environmental justice.
October is Campus Sustainability Month. Its purpose is similar to Earth Day, where the idea is to create events across campuses to implement environmental sustainable learning. Some examples that colleges are doing are tree plantings, conferences, nature walks, and informational fairs. Tonight's event at DePaul encouraged seed planting and clothes swapping. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Samantha Davis.
Next on Good Day DePaul, the season opener for the DePaul women's basketball team. Stay with us.
Today, the heroes that fight day in and day out on the front lines. Those who are there, innovating in real time, saving lives and answering the call to care in times of crisis. American nurses. Nurses who have been there for each and every one of us in times of crisis for more than 150 years. Nurses are the pillar of strength and the foundation of healthcare and life itself. Nurses are there the day we are born. They are there when your family is in crisis, and they are there in the end. In confronting the most catastrophic health crisis in modern history, we must remember our American nurse heroes need our support as much as we need them. To show our gratitude for their courage and ensure they receive the critical education and support services they need, donate to the Coronavirus Response Fund for Nurses today, in honor of your American nurse hero.
Max is here now with Good Day DePaul Sports. Max?
Thanks, Juliana. The DePaul women's basketball team played their final exhibition game of the season against Lewis University, breezing to an easy win at Wintrust Arena. In their exhibition game against Lewis, guard Anya Peoples came alive quickly for the Blue Demons. With DePaul trailing 5-2 early in the first quarter, Peoples scored the next 6 points for the Blue Demons, including a mid-range jumper and a drive to the hoop for a layup. DePaul never trailed again. Peoples' offensive display woke up her teammates as they began to dominate the paint against a smaller team. The Blue Demons recorded 17 of their 59 rebounds in the first quarter, including 9 on the offensive side. Peoples finished the first quarter with 6 points and 6 boards. Early in the second quarter, DePaul once again used their height, with forward Bryn Maskowicz and guard Maeve McErlane clogging the lane, leading to a block shot. In transition, McErlane gets the pass in the paint and scores easily. DePaul led 33-26 at half. In the second half, the Blue Demons consistently used press defense whenever Lewis was trying to inbound the ball. The extra pressure wore down Lewis as DePaul held them to only 4 points in the third quarter. Forward Jory Allen led the way for the Blue Demons, scoring all 9 of her points in the quarter while adding 2 rebounds. After shooting 39% from the field as a team in the third quarter, DePaul struggled down the stretch, shooting just 23% in the fourth. Despite this, they cruised to a 68-45 victory. Peoples finished with a double-double, recording 20 points and 16 rebounds, but the Blue Demons struggled from behind the arc, shooting just 4 for 30. After the Coach Doug Bruno was honest about the team's performance.
The game itself, we demonstrated that we are a new team and we have a lot of work to do in all areas of the game. It was a not very well played game, and that's why you play exhibition games, to find out what you're all about. And we've had two good ones now, one with Iowa and one with Lewis, and we've got a lot of work to do before we open up our season next Monday against Western Michigan. But I think there's some individual parts and pieces here that have a chance to be put together to turn this into a pretty good basketball team. But right now, tonight wasn't really one of those nights.
For Good Day DePaul, I'm Max Raymond. The DePaul women's soccer team ended the season, dropping their final game 1-0 to St. John's. The Blue Demons finished 6-7-4 overall and 2-5-3 in the Big East play. In men's soccer, the season also came to a disappointing end. In a must-win game, DePaul drew with Villanova 3-3. They finished the year 3-7-5 and 1-4-3 in Big East play. Both the women's and men's team failed to qualify for the Big East tournament. The DePaul men's and women's cross-country teams competed in the Big East cross-country championships. Both teams finished sixth, with Olivia Borowiak and Nina Amikon winning all Big East awards for finishing in the top 20. And in volleyball, DePaul's Joe Presley has been named Big East Offensive Player of the Week for the second time this season. Presley leads the conference in both kills per set and points per set. And that's sports. Back to you, Juliana.
Thanks, Max. We'll be back after this.
Matchsticks, matchbox, matching tie to matching socks. You don't know why, but you're really special to match point, match game. You and I are not the same, but I can tell that you're really special to me. There is something I can give to make you laugh, to help you live. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me.
That's all for this week's edition of Good Day DePaul. You can keep up with us by visiting our Vimeo channel at Good Day DePaul or by going to goodday.depaul.edu.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook.
And if you have any news tips, message us through the Good Day DePaul social media channels.
Thanks for watching. I'm Max Raymond.
And I'm Juliana Pelaez. Have a good day, DePaul.